Hello everyone and welcome back to the MedBoys channel. My name's Nimit and I'm here with Rushil and Nimit. We've been working hard behind the scenes and we're proud to present to you all of the first of many series that we've designed to help anyone achieve their dreams of becoming a doctor, and we call it Conquering the MCAT. The MCAT is a crucial step in the journey to medical school since so many schools require it, and it is one of the most difficult exams in the world. This video will cover how to guarantee a 130 plus score on the CARS section of the MCAT in the span of a few months. CARS is arguably the most important section on the MCAT, since many medical schools have higher cutoffs for this section only, and others, such as the McMaster Medical School in Ontario, use your CARS scores competitively to determine your admission. This means that the higher your CARS score is, the better chances you have of getting in. At the same time, it's known to be the part of the MCAT that most students struggle with, and because of this, they have to take the MCAT a second time. This is because the CARS features topics that are generally not related to medicine or science in general. You'll be reading anything from art to history. Also, the questions can be very challenging since you're supposed to answer them based on the limited information you gather from what you just read. So with that being said, let's get on with it. We're going to split this up into two sections. The first section will be the things you should do before you start your actual 3 to 4 month MCAT prep, and the second section will cover what you should do during your actual MCAT prep.
So firstly, you should start doing CARS passages 6 months in advance of your test date. For example, if your test date is in August 1st to be specific, you should start practicing at the latest in February. CARS passages on average take about 15 minutes to do when you first start out, so you'll be spending about 45 minutes every day doing a total of 3 passages. These passages should be done one at a time, and you should check your answers right after you complete a passage. The purpose of this exercise is for you to get acquainted with the style of questions and answers the AAMC uses, so when you actually start preparing, you're ready to go.
Next, this part is often ignored by many med prep channels, but it is very important to force yourself to read things you've never read before or texts you're not comfortable with. For example, if you've never read scientific journals, read them. If you've never read articles describing history or art, make sure to read them. This will prepare you for the CARS section, as there will be many passages in the exam that include topics that may be foreign to you. Reading a variety of topics will ensure you do not get too surprised or overwhelmed during the real deal.
Another important skill to work on before you formally start preparing for the MCAT is speed reading. There are many videos online that teach you exactly how to do this, but we essentially want you to double our reading speed by the end of the 6 months we start preparing for this exam. Therefore, if it took you 6 minutes to read a CARS passage in the beginning, you will try to get it down to 3 minutes.
Let us now turn our attention to some CARS tips during the formal preparation phase.
During this period, it is imperative to spend at least 1.5 hours a day, 5 days a week on strict CARS prep. There may be days where you really don't want to do it, or you're overwhelmed by your other commitments, but make sure you never miss a day doing CARS. This consistency is necessary for improvement and pay off big time in the actual exam. Make sure you turn off your phone during this time and focus solely on the passage at hand.
In the start, just try to get every question right. The aim of the strategy is to maximize accuracy, as that's really what matters in the MCAT. So don't even time yourself and focus on getting everything right, even if you have to go back to the passage for a question.
So once you get to a stage where you're only about 1 question wrong per passage, start timing yourself. Start with a time of 15 minutes and still try to maintain the accuracy you had when you weren't being timed.
After you do this, start adding 1 passage to the amount of passages you do every day, every 2 weeks. Since we started with 3 passages a day, we will get to the full 9 passages by the end of 12 weeks, which fits perfectly into any studying timeline.
At the same time, try to reduce the amount of time you spend on each passage by 1 minute every 2 weeks. For example, since we started with 15 minutes, we'll try to get this down to 14 by the end of the 2 weeks. By the end of 12 weeks, which is generally the normal studying timeline, we should be down to about 8 to 9 minutes per passage, and this is actually optimal for the MCAT.
And just as a bonus, we also included some extra tips that may help you during your studying.
First of all, don't be analytical or statistical and don't rely too much on this. When I started doing my cars prep, I used to write down all my scores with a timestamp, notes, and a bunch of other stuff. I found that if my scores didn't increase, this was actually very demoralizing and reduced my motivation to do more passages. Therefore, it's smart to record your process, but don't overdo it.
Lastly, use the full-length MCATs that you're going to be doing as benchmarks. Depending on the frequency with which you take full lengths, you should see a significant difference in your car scores. As a rule of thumb, you should try to increase your car score by at least 1 point every single time you take a practice MCAT. That way you know you're on track.
So that's the end of the video, and we think that if you use all the tips and tricks that we taught you in this video, you will definitely get the score you want on your MCAT. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and stay on the lookout for more videos in the Conquering the MCAT series.